Hey guys, welcome to my subject-orientated e-learning resource. So to start with, my rationale for this was because why did I choose the GoPro as my e-learning resource? To get a first-person perspective. So it's difficult for the students to do something if they're just watching somebody do it. If they see it first-person perspective, they can understand how I'm holding the tools, all that. Flipped learning and blended learning, will come into it later. Less pressure on the more knowledgeable other. So the lecturer, there's less pressure on us to be running around and making sure everybody's on task. And it encourages independent learning. That's the main reason for my book. And that there's the picture of the GoPro, which is out there. Target audience was my level 1 multi-skills group that I have on a Friday. Adam's going to come watch them this Friday. I'm going to be using the GoPro in that as well, or the resource for that as well. They're aged between 16 and 19 years old, and they do struggle with their maths and English, but none of them have any accessibility struggles. Out of the 11 students in the class on the class list, 8 of them took part in the e-learning resource, and 5 of them completed the optional feedback at the end of the session. That was the 5-minute lesson plan that I had on the board. So I always start with a starter activity, recap and discuss the tools and joints. So with multi-skills, I think I do that every lesson, because even at this point later in the year, they still struggle with recapping tools and joints. So if I just hit it every week, by the end of it, if they want to do the next level, they'll go into it with more knowledge. So like level 1, they'll know the joints they'll be using, that we're doing, and the tools. Number 2, explore the walkthrough video demonstration, the one that I recorded on the GoPro from the QR codes located around the walls, and I'll come on to that later on. Number 3, create practice bridle joints using correct methods and tools. So the main joint was the bridle joint that we were doing, and again, I'll come more into that later on. And then at the end, review and discuss the e-learning resource and complete feedback for the session. What was I using before? So before the first person perspective of the GoPro videos, I was on the right, there's a little GIF of me. That's how the students would view it. Me there chiseling away or paring away at a joint. And again, it's difficult for all the students, especially the ones at the back. Maybe they haven't seen that. A lot of them tend to stand at the back and just stare up at the ceiling or not engage properly. So it's a bit difficult with the demonstrations in the classroom. And on the left, there are some print offs that I found online. So we're obviously not the only lecturers in the country. There's other lecturers that have done resources. I know Ed's done loads of images and videos, but on the left there are print off as sheets. So at the beginning of a lesson, I'd give these sheets, obviously tell them the 5-minute lesson plan, give them the sheets, and get them to crack on with the joints that they're doing, stages by step by step. Demonstrations, yep. That's the GoPro. Excuse the picture. I'll just show you. You can pass it round. You have a box. You just want to pass it around, just so you know what it looks like. I mean, you probably know what it looks like, but yeah. I found it. I looked like a bit of a fool, to be honest, when I was doing it, because people were looking through the window and walking past. Who's this clown with his GoPro on? But anyway, I thought it was pretty good.
Did it like fall off your head at all?
No, to be fair, the clip at the back sometimes does unclip, so it like pushes down like that in my face. Then I might have to unclip it. To be fair, the clip at the moment it's falling apart, so I have to look at that.
How much is one of these?
I think up to 200 quid. That's a lower end scale,
Right.
because the quality on it, which I'll come into later, the quality isn't the best. I don't know what. I've seen.
I know the college got these. Or did you have to buy one yourself?
No, this is the college. The college. So I signed that out with Conrad. Well, I didn't sign it out, but I think somebody signed it out with Conrad. And Conrad knows I've got it. And eventually, when I'm finished with it, doing all my demonstrations this year, I'll do one more demonstration on it, and then the kids will do their assessment from the demonstration. I'll sign it back into Conrad. Anyway, if you want, you don't have to. The Google Classroom link is in the middle. These are the actual resources, or you can scan the QR code. But those two GIFs at the bottom, that's basically the resource.
On approved.
I'm going to hear my voice a lot now, aren't I? Policy, yeah, it's okay, isn't it?
You see your.
It's what it's like seasick inducing.
Got my headphones, so I can. Yeah, is that what that is?
Yes, frames per second.
Just like your video. I've got a thumbs up. I've just given you a thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's actually framed like. Giving off
Days.
How do I mitigate it?
If you can change frame per second on the camera. If not,
It's really good.
because you can't have lights in that studio board or stuff.
Right, okay.
Unless you can get some studio lights.
That could be epileptic. It's like epilepsy. I mean, you guys got epilepsy, have they?
You can get some.
You can have subtitles to each of the tools when they pop up. You could be like,
I'll come on to that.
okay.
There are. This is just maybe, yeah.
So we can do if you can get some lights to that.
I will, yeah.
Good. That's really good.
Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, good case. Thank you, guys.
Well done. That's really good.
Thank you. So students, there's two ways these students access the resource. So, okay, what I did was to start with, I made the resource from the GoPro. I downloaded that the video onto the computer, then I put it onto YouTube. So from the computer to YouTube, made it into a YouTube video, and then I created from that link on the YouTube video. It's a bit long-winded, but it's easy once you know how to do it. From that link in the YouTube video, I made a QR code, and then I plastered the QR code all around the workshop. And obviously, what joints there are. I think I've only done 3 joints. The bridle joint, what we did on the actual lesson, corner halving joint, and another halving joint. Yeah, corner bridle, and then for access purposes, so they can either scan the code, the QR code, or they can get their laptops up and put the the classroom code in on the laptops. So there's Google Classroom. Google Classroom, that's it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Laptop access, online demonstration videos. So they're there in their classroom when they're if their phones don't have Wi-Fi, or a lot of them come to lessons and they want to plug their phones in straight away because they run out of battery. But if they have no battery, how are they going to access the resource? That's why laptops come into it. Students, again, accessing the resource. The approach I took was synchronous. I'd walk around the workshop observing while students watched the resource itself, the video. But to be honest, I didn't really do much. It felt like asynchronous. I could have just been stood at the back and watched them all watching the video, just cracking on, because it just eliminated me entirely, really. Well, not entirely. I found the students asked less questions and worked quietly while watching, replaying the resource at their leisure. Students interacted a lot more as well to each other and spoke to each other about the video. I noticed confidence in students that was previously not present. Maybe because, they're quite introvert these days, aren't they? So if they can watch a video, they can probably understand it instead of me gathering everybody in a group, asking questions, putting them on the spot, possibly scaring them.
Yeah.
So they're watching a video and it's a bit more personal.
So Jason, from start to finish, how long did it take you to make the video?
It varied between joints. So I think the longest was 11 minutes
Right.
and then the shortest was 7 minutes.
And the videos are in real time.
Yeah. Real time, yeah.
Cool. So they could like fast forward or slow them
Yeah.
down as well.
That's it, yeah. A bit of literature here. So teaching and learning literature embedded. I'm not going to read it all, but the main thing I got from the blended side of it was more flexibility, more control, and more control over the pace. So like you said, Ellen, they can slow the video down, or if they didn't understand a section, they can go back and look at it. And obviously that incorporates classroom and online. So blended learning, incorporates both. Flipped learning includes any kind of exploitation of internet technologies to leverage the learning in a classroom so that a teacher can devote more time interacting and communicating with students rather than teaching. So instead of, demonstrating again to an individual student, that student can watch the video, and that way I can go and help everybody, a lot more students, a lot more people. Yeah, to learn, again, to enable students to learn at their own pace, and give the instructor more time to teach students individually rather than the class as a whole. Accessibility, I have to think about that again. So subtitles, top right picture, sorry if it's a bit messy. We've got quite a lot of pictures. Top right, I've added subtitles. YouTube allows you to add subtitles, which is great. You just have to check the transcription, make sure all the words are spelled correctly and all that. Check that good stuff. With these videos as well, you can zoom and magnify. They use their personal mobile phone, so it's really accessible, really easy. Like you guys did at the beginning, you just scan that QR code. Use of laptops, and it's also a screen reader compatibility with that stuff, with YouTube being quite mainstream. Subtitles appear visually on screen, which is helpful for users who are deaf or hard of hearing. Yeah. Legislation that I've covered here. So copyright laws, YouTube, all that grey bit at the bottom, that's YouTube checking like copyright laws, checking if it's for kids, if it's for adults, all that stuff there. Appropriate security measures must be in place to protect stored images and unauthorized access. Department of Education. On the left-hand side there is the form I created through ChatGPT to consent form, yeah, thank you. A consent form, and on the right is the consent form where all the students have signed. I think when they come to the college, they already signed something, but it's vague, so I just got them to do it, and then I asked them to take it home and get their parents to sign it as well. But that was it, yeah. Photographs should be retained only as long as necessary, so all the photographs will be destroyed after the cert is finished. That's it. Critical analysis, so the not so good points. Starting from left to right, there was an instance where one student didn't charge their phone. As we said before, they come to classes quite unprepared. They would have to watch someone else's phone. So that particular lesson, something for the future thinking, it'll probably just be a case of getting some laptops in the classroom ready to go. Students using their phones gives opportunities for them to get distracted on their phone. One student was caught watching TikTok instead of the instructional video. It's going to happen, yeah, they're on their phones. The quality was not the best through the camera, but I found myself watching back over the videos. So I myself was watching back over the videos because I didn't find the quality as best. Some videos were quite good then, weren't they? Were they? Okay. Yeah. No access to the technology. So if students don't have their phones at all, and if I can't sign out any laptops, I'm pretty stuffed. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of laptops going around in construction. If I can't get any and they haven't brought their phone, what do I do? So something I have to think about for the future. And this is the work they produce. Pretty good stuff, to be fair. Distinction level results, I say. I went around all their work with a rule, making sure the gaps were tight, and they were pretty good, to be fair. I facilitated instead of demonstrated that lesson. And on the left side, the student was watching the video while he accurately marked it as well. And that student usually struggles, to be fair. And the feedback. From a class of 12 students, feedback on the resource was very positive, with 5 students that took part in the feedback. Students found it easy to follow and go back if unsure. How easy was it to access the resource? 80% said very easy. How would you rate the overall quality of the demonstration? 60% said excellent and 40% said good. More feedback here. How clear were the instructions provided during the demonstration? And they all said either clear or very clear. And were the steps shown in the demonstration easy to follow? And they all said very easy or easy, because let's face it, it's just a video, isn't it? They're watching it. I watched all of it the first time. So this is some of the feedback they gave to me in the session. I watched all of it first time just to see what I'm working with, and then watch small parts if I was stuck. And then watching a video helps me join wood together, because I can watch it if I don't know what to do. And then, yeah, just some more feedback, guys.
Very positive.
Yeah, really positive. So the red is good and the blue is excellent.
That saves
in-
that saves you time when you're teaching, when you're working with the others can just get on with it.
It's revolutionary, yeah.
They'll teach themselves, really, and just easy.
Did you get any, did you find anything, or did you get the impression that young people now increasingly learn from TikTok, YouTube, short videos? Does that come into any of your thoughts at all?
It's
That
too early to say. It's
okay,
too early to say, because if I was to do this for an extended period of time, then I'd be able to
good point.
understand more about it. Maybe some classes won't enjoy it, and they'd rather me.
Good point. This class did really.
Yeah, this class loved it.
So
Well, yeah, how much feedback did I give? I can tell this is going to help me a lot. I get confused all the time. So these are just some of the comments. Again, very positive feedback. Am I going backwards? No, yes.
That was on before.
Areas to improve. Although an overall positive outcome on the resource, students also indicated that the pace of the video demonstrated was too slow. Additionally, for future videos, I will also explore how to correct an error or possibly identify and prevent further mistakes. So something I didn't do in my videos was, if I made a mistake, how would I correct that mistake? Or can I correct it? Would it be starting again? So on the left-hand side, what suggestions would you improve your demonstration? And one of them said how to repair or how to repair our mistakes, like a split in a joint. That's really good. Yeah, that's really positive feedback. In summary, from what I've learned, nearly every single student would benefit positively in some way from this e-learning resource. There would just need to be a few small issues to iron out to perfect the resource and use it for all my classes. I plan to incorporate these videos into my lessons for each unit in the very near future.
I think it's very well done. And then what was? You permit bibliography. I'll stop the recording.
Apologise.
That was really impressive.
Thank you.
Alan, are you okay?